does it feel so cold inside my heart tonight? Be my man is what she said. It's not just the wind that's moving round tonight, but quick and clean don't make it right.
Righto, start of the day for Ant and I. We haven't been out for about a month or more.
Too long, Glenn, too long.
Yeah, Ant was just telling me that Danny missed us, so that's good.
Cheers, Danny.
I was poking around in the pines because, as I've said before, that they in the early 70s they planted thousands of acres of pines through here, maybe tens of thousands of acres, and they planted on what they called marginal ground, and a lot of that ground was mining ground. So even though it's all pines now, when you're in the pines you can see where there's gullies and workings and surfaces. So I was cutting through the pines, and all of a sudden I started to get a heap of signals, and it was clearly where there'd been a hut, and because it had been ripped to plant the pines, the signals were pretty widely spread. I didn't dig any signals, but I poked around with a double D coil, and there was enough ones that were non-ferrous to get me interested. So Ant and I are in here today to clean it up. The trouble with the pines is, when you're in them, it's like being in a giant maze. You can't
Sure
see
is.
the sun. There's no distinguishing marks, so all the geography looks the same, all the geology looks the same. So you can easily get turned around. So I did something I rarely ever do. I marked a tree. So I put this little mark on there, which most people wouldn't notice in the middle of a couple of million pines. But I was able to come back, find that. I told Anne about it. Fortunately, I was able to find it. So just in here in front of us, behind it, when you get it further into the pines, you can see where there's been a little mine, and also where they first found the gold, where they're surfacing, all covered in pine needles. So Ant and I are going to have a quick go here, try and get something at the start of the day, so that even if we don't find any gold later on to our next spot, we can say, well, we found this. And it always looks good at the end of the day. We say, oh, we found these 4 buttons.
That's
so
it.
Ant, first man to find a button wins. Thumbs up,
Let's
mate.
do it. Cheers, buddy.
Let's go.
Let's get into it.
Happening?
Well, we found a lot of signals, so I reckon we're right in the vicinity. There's like, around here, there was a lot of signals around here, but the one I'm after is this one.
Yeah, see, we reckon with the double D coil, the fact that that's not blanking out, we're pretty confident that it's non-ferrous. If you get in the old enough area and you're digging non-ferrous signals, they're always interesting. If they're not valuable, they're always interesting, and it's nice to have a bit of show and tell. And we know how hard it is to find gold. We know, we share your pain. So when you go out the bush, don't be afraid to dig something that you know is not gold, just so you've got it rattling around on the dash when you're going home, and your wife or your girlfriend or your mates say, what you find? Well, I didn't find any gold, but I found this coin or this little lead soldier or whatever it happens to be.
Gold weights are always nice. I love them.
Anything that's indicative of the time period is really good. You know, Ant's been lucky enough to find 2 or 3 gold weights. We found a little ripper of a 1/4 ounce one day.
Yeah.
So, and we're aware of the controversy that goes on about this, but we will just play the cards as they're dealt.
You might even be on the coil. Oh, you bugger.
You see, what is he? Bullet shell.
Bullet shell.
Ah, well, we're right about one thing, he's non-ferrous.
Yep.
Righto, mate, next signal.
Next signal. Glenn, you got your detector out?
Yeah, mate, and I got a signal, and I called you over. I'm just going to dig it. It sounds quite all right.
Does sound alright.
And the reason I called you over because I didn't want to dig it and then say,
Found
hey,
something.
found the silver sixpence.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
say, yeah, of course you did. So there's the ground. It's as hard as anything.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we've got. We're in a nice sort of old area. I eyeballed a bit of black glass and a bit of pottery,
Oh yeah.
so I just picked them up just to sort of give you a bit of an idea of this. So it's bottom of black glass beer.
Yep.
And the ubiquitous willow pattern plate.
Well, she's out. Kinder Surprise?
Yeah. What were you paying me? Oh, I reckon can I see
Can you
grass
see
there?
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, bugger. You're joining the club.
Yeah, it's bottom of a little. It's not a weight, is it? No, I think it's the bottom of a shotgun.
Yeah,
Mini
some type
shotgun.
of shell. From the top, it looks like a bit of a shell.
Oh, it's solid. I'm not. Is it solid or not? I'm not sure it is now.
What about?
Doesn't that look to have a solid?
It is solid on the bottom. That's what it looks like on the top.
Literally, it looks like some sort of small gauge, bloody shotgun shell or something, but it's where it should have had powder and it's got.
Looks like there's something on the back of it, like a D or a P
Doesn't
or a
say anyway,
6.
so-
No, but on
Gold
top
bait, is it?
it's. Well, on the top it's got that
Yeah, like
See that thread type looking
Yeah.
thing? Not sure, Glenn.
I'm not going to dismiss it as a gold bait just yet.
Yeah.
Where'd you see? Did you see?
There. See, it's got a
Oh yeah,
something on there.
maybe it's 2 pennyweight.
Chuck it in the thing.
Cle-
We'll
clearly
inspect
reading-
later.
Clearly leading the relic challenge though, mate.
Yeah, sure are.
Puts the lead in the shape. Right, mate. Keep attacking.
Let's go.
Right, mate. Why are we so excited?
Oh, Mr. Poker Face here.
What's going on, mate?
Well, I had a little signal right here, right next to this beautiful tree here.
This lovely
My
tree.
favourite tree, the pine forest. And it sounded a little bit like this.
So if you're away from the hut, you'd be hoping that it might be something worth having.
Exactly. And then this popped out.
Now it's hard to tell on that film.
But you can see a little bit of colour on there, I reckon.
The man reckons he'll turn this in with a magic trick. He'll turn his lead into
Well,
gold.
turning lead into gold. It's my fourth signal. First 3 were lead.
Yeah.
And look at this, Glenn.
Look at this little bit of lead.
Look at that.
Oh, you little ripper, mate.
Hang on. Tastes better than lead. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
That is a beautiful bit of gold.
Look at that. Oh, how coarse it is too.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
And that's why the hut's here, of course, because he's right on the gold, as they're prone to do. They would, and you would too. I mean, if you find gold, especially in that time, you're not going to build your hut 300 metres from where you're working. You're going to be right on top of it so you can
Oh,
protect
look at
it.
it, Glenn. That's gorgeous.
Well, mate, that's bloody great. And
Nice little start.
it's a bloody great start because you got gold and relics in the one little area.
Yeah. You
That's
never
a
know what's
bloody
going to turn up. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
there.
2 thumbs up.
Jebedali.
That's the 4 thumbs up. And a Jebedali. Jebedali. Good
Happy
work,
days.
mate.
Thanks, mate.
Good work.
Cheers, buddy.
There it is. Put it up, pinch it out between your thumb and forefinger or whatever, mate.
I
so
can
we
do
can...
that with this phone. There's a little.
There he is. That's a good photo for the album as well. Good work, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
That's bloody great, isn't it?
Yeah,
Jeez,
right.
that's good.
Beautiful
We've
start.
only 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, I
20
reckon.
minutes max.
Yeah. Good boy.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. I'll go the handshake, I reckon.
Yes.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Righto, Anthony's clearly leading the gold challenge. Now he's making a determined effort on the relic challenge. Got a signal here, mate.
Yeah.
Nice big round bloody copper penny by the sound of him. Certainly
Sounds good,
non-ferrous.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
This sounds like our best non-ferrous signal.
Yeah. Shouldn't be that hard to find either, you wouldn't think. I found this while I was over there poking around. That's the bottom of a
Tornado book.
torpedo, yeah, bottom of a torpedo, shaped,
Nice.
called a torpedo bottle because it's shaped like a torpedo, of course. And the reason they had the round end, because they used to have a fizzy drink in them, and the cork had to stay wet to keep all the fizz in them. So the pumpkin heads would be standing them up on their end and on the flat, and then when they got there, the cork had dried out and they'd let the fizz out of them. So they cleverly made the bottle with a round end, so you couldn't stand them up. So they had to lay
'cause
down.
That's the bottom of the bottle there.
That's the bottom of the bottle, yeah, that round bit. So obviously every time you try to stand up, it'd fall over. And oh, that's right, you're not supposed to stand these up. So that was a clever idea.
Very clever.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, already, is he?
He's out, yep.
Yep.
And fallen to the bottom.
That was a great surprise. You were a bit of gold before.
It was, wasn't it?
That
Oh,
was
God.
really good.
Couldn't believe it.
And that's the thing about the pines. Just because they're pines now, it's gold mining ground, gold bearing ground.
No good, Glenn.
This man's shaking his head like he's seen a bit of lead.
A rivet of some sort.
Oh yeah. Come on, mate. Oh yeah, decent example though. I'm not disappointed. So off leather harness or whatever. I'm surprised you didn't try and sell it to me as a cufflink.
The words are on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. There it is. You hold up, mate, all of them. So, definitely use a rivet, is it? Yeah.
Or cufflink.
Yeah. Mine is cufflink, yeah. Right, mate. It's as close to a cufflink probably as mine is to a gold weight bottle. You just clean that up when I get back out of the pines. Righto, we're still doing all right though.
Yep.
Having a lot of fun too.
That's it. Onwards, mate.
Righto, mate. Righto, my mate and I are going to move out of here now, not because we're tired of the spot. There's bloody heaps of signals.
There are, aren't there?
And the fact that Ant plucked out a bit of gold out of the middle of them, yeah, I know, is a great thing. So we've marked this one down as a spot to come back to. Mate, what do you find then?
Well, out of this hole, I just plucked out a old little spoon.
So a lot of relics, a lot of fun, lots of things to dig here. I was carrying something triumphantly across in my hand to show Ant, and somewhere in the 50 metres between us, I've dropped it.
Oh, Glenn.
And Ant said, oh, never mind, we'll find it with your detector. And I said, I can't because it was a butterfly wing. But Ant, only probably a couple of weeks ago I learnt this, and you know, and everyone knows this, but you don't realise it. It's the difference between, how you can tell the difference between a moth and a butterfly. You know, you see those white butterflies, and we call them cabbage moths, or some people call them cabbage moths. I read something, and I reckon they should teach you this in grade 1 at school. You take your phone. Right, if you want to know the difference between a butterfly and a moth, when a moth lands, puts its wings down like that. When a butterfly lands, puts its wings up like that. Simple, isn't it? And when you think about it, you know, when you see a butterfly land, first thing it does is put its wings up.
Oh, yeah, true.
And moth, when it lands, or when you see it under the cupboard,
Put
its wings down. Bit of
down.
interpretive dance there too. For you, yeah. So I reckon that when you're in
Interesting.
grade 1, they should say, now listen kids, this is all you have to learn today. When a butterfly lands, has its wings up. When a moth's down, has its wings down.
Interesting.
I reckon
There
it
you
is.
go.
I mean, I'm 65 and only learned it a fortnight ago. They should have showed me that first day at school. Never mind mucking around with rods, I'll learn how to count.
Oh,
Tell me the important things.
yeah.
Right now, mate. So
I actually got one other thing to show you, Glenn.
yeah, I had another one as well. Keep going, I'll take the phone from you.
So I just eyeballed this. You can tell me what it is.
I think it's another one of your... it's one of two things. You hold it. I think it's a hookah pipe. I think it's for you, you know, smoking.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Opium or something like that.
Yeah, but it may be a candlestick, but that's it.
Well, that was my first impression, was a candlestick
Yeah.
holder. But you reckon it could be a
Oh, well, I
hooker
reckon
plant or something?
it's one of those two things.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and I lean towards the hooker pipe, you know,
Yeah.
the smoking opium. So,
Or something.
and like, which is more likely? You're going to be out here, bloody, with your candlesticks, or out here, bloody, down on the dumps and getting on the gear, you know? So really, no, really, it's hard to see people carting. I know if they've got to hold candles up in their hut or whatever, they need something. But probably a candlestick, but I'm not ruling it out. Coffee Bush Kid, we haven't heard from you for a while. We'll leave it to your judgment. Ant's killing it on the relics. Hold those two things up, mate. Look at that. And mate, going to make a great photo when you've got the little bit of gold as well.
Yeah, will, won't it?
Righto, fella.
Cheers.
As I said, I come into this spot a couple of weeks ago, probably 6 or 7 weeks ago. I was having a bit of a scout around, and I marked the pine tree simply because this is where we are. You're in the pines. You haven't much chance of seeing exactly where the sun is. It's over there. You can just see it poking through. As soon as it gets overcast, you're in a maze. So you're in strips of pines like that. Strips of pines like that. I've been turned around in the pines and barely knew which way was up. When you do, just...
I hope you know where we are going. I have no idea.
And that's what I mean. That's why I marked that tree. And I did a good job, if I've got to say it myself, to find that tree.
Yeah.
You get turned around in the pines, get on one stretch and follow it all the way through. So straight up and down. Don't start wandering around. Just get on one stretch, go straight up there. Eventually you'll hit a road or hit something or die of thirst and exhaustion. Righto, mate. Take us back to the car.
Well, it's almost lunchtime. Well, we've started.
Yeah, morning tea time.
Morning
at least, yeah.
tea. And Glenn, what are you going to tell us?
Well, mate, we've got off to a flying start.
It is, isn't it?
There's the Slifka.
Slifky. Love him.
We love them. Us Polish blokes.
Chocolate.
There's Ant's bit of gold. And then we've had a breakthrough. Ant had this in his bag.
Yep.
You know, and we couldn't decide what it was, and we thought it might have been, I hoped it was a gold weight. That little one has dropped out of this one. It's clearly a gold weight now.
Yeah, definitely a gold weight.
And my old mate said, it's got a P on the bottom. Would that be for pennyweight? I said, I think it's a D on the bottom, which is for pennyweight, which he raised his eyebrows about. But a D was the symbol for the penny.
Okay.
But,
So how much in grams would that be?
well, a pennyweight is 1.5 grams.
1.5 grams.
Yeah.
Well, we can weigh it.
Yeah, I reckon that'll be 2 pennyweight. I suspect that one.
2.
This one here,
Okay.
yeah, I reckon that'll be 3 gram.
Okay.
I can't read what it says on the bottom there.
Yeah, it's
might
either a D or a
It might even
P.
be the maker's mark.
yeah or a 6 or a
And-
9.
I would be optimistic in thinking that maybe
That's a
another
gram.
one or two of those might come out. See,
Oh,
see these
yeah.
little circles there?
Yep.
So,
So it could be like a little set.
yeah, that's right, little
Wow.
tiny ones. But it wasn't funny, we were talking about gold weights,
Yep.
and up it bloody popped.
Unbelievable.
And it just goes to show how easily you could discard things. You know,
Yeah.
when we first dug it, it looked like the bottom of a shotgun shell,
Exactly.
didn't it?
Yep.
It just looked like the firing pin's going to hit there,
Yep.
and the casing has buggered off. So,
Yeah.
so we've got a lovely morning lunch.
Beautiful. Happy days.
Sue Ellen's plates.
Yep.
Ant's gold.
Plus-
Ant's got some relics as well.
That and a spoon. So kicked off to a great start.
We're in it, mate. And this spot here, we only scratched the surface, really, didn't we? We didn't.
That's
bloody,
right.
we haven't hammered it because we wanted to come to our second spot.
Yeah.
When we came down here, we had morning lunch. And I just checked my phone to see that no one was looking for me. No one wanted to come home. And I smiled to myself because the phone was blank. No one wanted me to do anything. It reminded me of a story, and this is a true story. There's these two blokes, they were grown men, and they used to go to Melbourne to watch the AFL football and pick up their uncle. Their uncle was an old man. So they'd go, take him to the football Saturday afternoon, watch the football, come home again, drop him off. And that was the highlight of his week. And they were bits of groggos, and it was the highlight of their week. So that went on probably for 10 or 15 years. And then one day they went down, got to Uncle's place. Uncle was dead in the chair. It was only about 11 o'clock in the morning. So they debated between themselves what they would do, and then they decided he wasn't going to get any more dead.
So they left him
They
with the
went to
footy.
the football.
Jesus.
They went to the football, and then they came home, and then at 5:30 they said, "Oh, well, we've come and found Uncle dead." So when I checked my phone and no one wanted me, I thought, yeah, I could see what would happen. Like if I checked my phone and said, "Oh, you better come home, there's trouble brewing," I would think, "Oh, bloodshot, I'd rather go detecting." So yeah, they thought, well, no sense. It's not going to worry Uncle. No sense ruining a good day, so it's football.
Oh, what a
mate.
good day it's been so far.
Yeah.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, let's get some toasties into us,
Yeah,
Glenn.
mate. Good health, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Glenn.
Mate, we're at our second spot for the day, and I've got a couple of little bits here. The last time I was in here, I got 2 little bits. Then as I was driving out, I met a bloke stopped by the side of the road, and he was pumping his tyres up. I thought he was in strife, and I stopped to talk to him. Turned out he'd let the air out of his tyres when he was off-road, and then put the air back in, which he was in a new 4-wheel drive. He was on the same track that I was in the shit box ute, with all the air in my tyres. Anyhow, we had a bit of a talk. He said he'd been looking for gold, had no luck. So I gave him the smaller of the 2 bits that I found. And the 2 bits I found were
good
just
man,
here.
Glenn.
So what we're doing, we're going to go back, clean this
digging.
bedrock off, runs in a ridge along here. And the interesting part about this is, when you're in a creek, you're always looking for where the water's been hesitated, because that's where the gold's dropped out. Well, this big gully here has been the main gully, and it's had a lot of water flowing through it. And it's got a little feeder gully. And when the feeder gully's brought the gold down, when it's met the big gully at right angles like that, when it's got to this bit where it's dropped over the edge, it's lost the grip on its gold. So there was a lot of small gold when I first came in here on this lip, same as it would be in a creek, but detectable gold. So I was thinking about it. I come out here a month or so ago to case it, and I come out here the other day just to reinforce it in my mind. I dug a little bit of dirt off to see what depth we had. I dug up this bit of case gin, and it lets us know that this ground we're digging out has already been dug out once, but it hasn't been washed. So as good as they were, they could easily miss a bit in that.
Yep.
So Ant and I are going to tidy up these logs,
Yep.
pull the big stones off. I know there's rubbish signals in there. I know there was a hut above us, which is what part of this is about. It's a good spot to be. A wise man once said, gold's a good indicator of gold. So I said, where there's gold, and someone said about being an indicator, which I thought was very, very funny. So get stuck into it, mate, and we'll see if we can
do
find
it,
a bit for
Glenn.
me. Righto, Ant.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Glenn, we got the camera out. What do you got there?
We've got a scorpion, mate,
Ooh, look at him. He's
and he's not dull. He's in
no.
He's in the mood to move around.
Yep.
So
Got to be careful out
yeah,
here.
every stone we pick up, like we're picking them up by hands. There he is.
Yeah, he's a very active scorpion.
So yeah, all he's trying to do is hide. He doesn't want to
Yeah.
muck around with me. But he's, I don't know whether he's a nice size. I don't know. Would you be able to eat him if you were starving or not?
Well, they do eat them in China.
Would he
I've
be able,
seen him.
Would he be able to eat me if he was starving?
He'd probably give you a big sting.
Yeah, well, yeah. Right, so if you're with us, keep your fingers back when you
Yes,
put them on
watch
the-
out. Watch
on the
out,
stone.
guys.
That was
Lots
the
of
second stone I rolled over.
Second stone.
So we'll
Jeez.
have a scorpion count as well.
Yeah.
Ant and I are working on either side of this little gully that leads into the main gully, and we like the fact that we can get down onto the bedrock by shifting a bit of dirt. And these are where the traps would be if you were working a creek. And this is equivalent of working a dry creek. So mate, you take it over from there.
Well, I've got this signal. I've dug a little bit out, and now it's absolutely screaming, so I think we're pretty close. So I call Glenn over just in case it's a bit of gold.
We heard it hiccup, and I said to Ant, "Do you want to film me?" And he said, "No," but then it wouldn't blank out. You
Yeah.
know, it wouldn't go away. And it's in a good little spot too.
It is, isn't it?
See, that's the stone we're working on to. I might skip around the other side of you, mate, so I'm not getting your shadow.
Alright.
So, yeah, it's in a great little spot.
It is, isn't it?
It'd be a miracle if we land one this
it'd be
quick,
funny,
but
wouldn't it?
we bloody good all the same.
That's a good little trap down there,
Yeah.
isn't it?
One thing about him, if he does happen to be gold, he sounded as though he had a little bit of size to him, didn't he?
It's not down there.
Is he on one of those stones? He's not that, is he? Whoops.
Watch your boot there for a
Yep,
second.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
find
yeah.
these things.
Yep.
Alright.
Oh, still in the game.
There. So it's out.
Yeah, I was worried that this one was going to be blue metal. Now, if you're watching at home, if you watch Ant's face, you'll know, you'll know pretty quickly what it is. Right, mate, open your hand up, give us a go. Give us a... There he is,
Where? Oh, he's
that bastard.
Yep.
That's why he sounded so good.
22.
Yeah.
Is it 22?
Oh,
Some type of shell.
Yeah,
Bugger.
them a little cap. Never mind,
Oh, well.
just goes to show he could have been gold.
That's it.
Righto,
Onwards.
onwards, mate. Righto, Ant's got a signal, and it seems funny when you're hunting for gold, but in this area, you hope there'll be small signals. If you get a great big signal, it lessens your chances it'll be gold. So Ant's got a signal here, big enough to be picked up with a double D coil, yet small enough to be a possibility. So go ahead, mate. It's warm enough, but it's a nice breeze blowing.
Yeah.
Don't get frightened. I've got my shirt off, but I'll put it back on for any filming purposes. There'll be no more backlash. I was tickled those.
You look good without your shirt on.
Yeah, I did too, mate. Yeah, I did too. And Sue Ellen Dunlop said that she went, her and her partner went metal detecting up at Nundle, and she had sympathy for me. She said it was 40 degrees and she would have liked to take her top off, but she said, and this is her quote, she didn't think anyone would want to see a 51-year-old woman without a top off. Well, Sue, I could argue against that. As most husbands and boyfriends will testify, if they hear the shower going or their partner coming home from work and saying, I'll just get changed, they'll sort of sidle into the bedroom and sit up. So yeah, we never get tired of seeing women with their tops off.
Yeah,
I certainly don't, and
No.
I think I'd get a hell yeah from most men.
Well, Glenn, I moved it and
I know, mate, yeah, and that's what makes me think how small it is.
It's so close.
Yep.
It's not that, is it? No, that's good.
No. Oh, what about give the old, when you've had to go there, run the pick end around Stumpy of Stumpy's picks. It's got that great magnet in the end, just to make sure it's not a bit of metal, bit of ferrous metal.
Well, I've got a few things.
Yeah, it's marvellous how much magnetic stuff is.
Yeah.
Got him.
It was. Bugger.
Good on you, Stumpy. And I've been giving your pick a good bloody workout up there. Handles must be nice and strong because I've been laying back on it to lever out a few big stones.
That's what it was. Just a rust nugget.
Anyhow, so that we're not in the habit of using the magnet because we're not used to using the magnet. So it just goes to show how effective they are.
We're digging away.
If you're wondering why Ant wears gloves,
That's why.
look at that bloke.
He's huge. Look at the pincers on him.
Yeah.
There's one big centipede. Oh, let's see if we can dig up some gold, Glenn. Alright, well Glenn's in his little corner. And you can hear. Oh, watch out for that spider there.
Yeah, it's a ripper, isn't he?
Yep. He's on a little
Little
signal here.
We moved a great big rock.
Out of there. Now you're getting close to him.
Yeah.
I think he's still in the ground.
You reckon he is? I'm
Yep.
not so sure.
You reckon so?
It'd be great if he is. It'd be great if he is.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in the ground. Surely.
It's a she now, is it? I geez, every bloody crawly insect known to man is living in these stones.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
You'd be a fool to put your hand in there.
Yeah. Without any gloves. Yep, she's in there. She's screaming for you, Glenn.
I know.
She's saying, come and get me, come and
I
get me.
reckon she is too. Geez, I hope it is a girl and not a big ugly man. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
And a plump girl too.
Yeah.
Not skinny and
No, we like a full-figured gal.
yeah, full-figured gal. Come on.
It's good ground.
It's great ground, isn't it?
Bloody-
Still in there. Yes. You can pretty much see the smile through my voice. oh, Glenn. Music to my ears.
Yeah. Come on, boy.
This is how it's done, ladies and gents.
Let's hope it is. We can always cut it out anyhow. And it'll go up if he hears it, if he sees it rather.
Oh, she's out. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
turn him over, yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, mate.
Oh, yeah, see it.
Can you see it?
Right there. Look
That.
at it. Yep, that's shining.
That's a bit of gold.
Of course it is. Oh,
Well,
good man,
that's
Glenn.
exactly why we're here.
Yep. Oh, nice chunky bit
Yeah,
too.
that's exactly why we're here, to shift these, see all this loose stone?
Yep.
He's stayed there, the water's come down the slope. He's been pinched by the clay.
Yep.
Big stones on top of him, like he could have travelled down a crack like that and ended up in there. Ah, well that's a good start, mate. I know that.
Yep. That's very nice. Plump little
point
bit.
3, 0.4, you reckon?
Oh, it's chunky. It's not flat. Nah, that's at least half, I reckon.
No, she's on
Yes.
drugs. He's not
Well,
half, but he's...
Look how fat it is. It's not
Yeah.
flat. If it was flat,
Yeah, but I only called that one of yours half. And it's
yeah, but mine's flatter than that.
yeah, but it's a lot bigger than... Anyhow, it's a
We'll
nice,
see.
nice
We'll see.
argument to have.
That's
isn't it?
right. Yeah.
Thumbs up, mate.
Thumbs up
That's
indeed.
our first one, and
Good
we
job.
bloody, it proves our theory.
That's it.
Good work,
On to
mate.
the next one.
It's nice to get a signal.
Yes. Very nice.
Well, on to the next one, mate.
Let's do it, buddy.
Good work.
Good work, mate. Oh, Ben, what have you found?
Well, we're out the bush and we're a fair way away from houses. You know, we're quite a distance away, but within walking distance of houses. We've found someone's home gym. And what they've got here is got a bicycle wheel on a tree, on a little board, and then this wire, bit of plain wire goes along there, goes down to a handle. You recline on this bench. So you're on this
Very
bench,
sturdy. Yeah.
which used to be up like this. So you're sitting here on your bench, you're pulling your handle down.
Listen up a
And you
bucket
lift
of
it up.
rocks.
This. Lifting that up above your head.
Oh,
What could
geez.
possibly go wrong, mate?
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, that's securely screwed in there. Get tired of that, you can work it on the weights with the weights, or you can work
That's
it
it.
on the weights.
Yep. A few dumbbells. Here we
A
go.
few of these. And then, over up here, our home gym. Got the rock boxing bag. Right, mate.
Let's go get a drink. I'm
Yeah.
tired after all this working out.
Yeah, so it's marvellous what you find. We're out the bush here one day, not far from here. I saw a bloke walking through the bush. Nothing unusual about him, but he was completely naked.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Now, fortunately, I saw him before he saw me, so I went swiftly in the other direction. So I never found out what his purpose in life was, but
Jeez.
yeah, he
There you
was
go.
just having a stroll.
He's having a strong
Yeah,
in his birthday suit.
yeah. Yeah, and it was pretty, it must have been a while since he'd had a birthday too, because it's been a long while since it'd been ironed. Right, mate.
Let's go get a drink. There we go. Look at that. How cool is that? Mr. Scorpion. That's a great shot. Nice.
Mate, we're going to have our round up now. We've still got about a half an hour's detecting left in us. We're going to go to a third spot and have a bit of a talk, and I want to show you something. But we're going to do a round out now because their tongues are hanging out. We want to spell on a cup of tea. So this is our day's work here. So at the start of the day, Ant plucked out a piece of gold, which we're going to weigh in a second. And then we've got a few relics, including this one, which puzzled us when we first found it. He was like that and covered in dirt when he came out of the ground. When I first dug him, I thought he was the end of a shotgun shell. Then he had a solid end on him. He's stamped with the pennyweight sign. Then from one trip to the other, he had a young'un. The little one dropped out.
Yep.
That one fits in. That one, so he's obviously a gold weight.
Yep.
He's got a stamp on the back of him as well. We weighed him up, allowing for the fact that the scales will jump a little bit on the leaves. He was 3 pennyweight, he was 2 pennyweight.
Yep.
So definite gold scale, which was a good relic find. Put him there for the moment. Ant found this, and you would think that it's a candlestick holder to look at, but we don't believe it is. In there, it looks what to be the remnants of some sort of rubber.
Yep.
And Ant, where's that little bit you plucked out?
Yeah.
That's definitely a piece of rubber that came out of there.
Yep.
And we think that it might be some sort of hooker pipe that had a rubber hose going through there, and those bits there come down the outside of the hose, and then you're sucking back
Taken
on it.
away. Yep.
And I truly believe that's what it is. People say no, candlestick. I don't think so.
You wouldn't have all that rubber in
Wouldn't
it.
have that rubber. And the fact that's there makes you think that that's been to protect the hose. You know, when you're flexing it, you'll come and say, no, give me a go, mate. And getting on it. So that's a great find. That's a really great find.
Yeah, I've never seen one like that before.
Ant landed a spoon around where the hut was.
Yep.
Just an ordinary spoon.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy about him, just a poor man's
silver.
spoon.
Yep. There's a little bit of
Yeah, he's got some
something that,
sort of fake stamps on the back of him, but
nothing too exciting.
then strangely he rolled over and said, "See this rivet I found," instead of trying to tell me it was a bushman's cufflink. It's a pretty solid one all the same. It's a pretty heavy one.
Yeah.
I suppose it's a rivet. The more Ant told me it was a rivet, the more I was a bit inclined to disagree with him. So we start off with 3 bits of lead. Ant got a little bit of brass. I got a little bit of some sort of steel, like the outside of, I don't know what, some sort of cast pot or anything.
Yeah, tin or something.
Absolute classic handmade nail. You know, you can see he's been hit out on the anvil. Just take a short bit of steel, narrow him down to wedge shape, put him on the anvil both sides, square him up, put a head on him. There you have a handmade nail. The bottom of the torpedo bottle we spoke about, some nice bubbles in him in the glass when he was being made.
That's cool.
Round bottom so he can't stand up, so he's got to keep the cork dry. So there are our relics. So, Ant, our gold. Let's talk about our gold.
Yep.
You got yours first. I quoted you at 0.5 gram. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I reckon. Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be 0.5
Got to be
gram.
0.5 gram.
And then I got mine and I quoted him at 0.4. Ant pushed me out higher.
Yeah.
But
Yours
when-
is half a gram.
When you put him next to Ant, he gets dwarfed a bit.
Yeah, but it's a lot thicker too.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So if you're at home, you have a guess on the weights of those two little bits of
Yours
gold.
is bigger.
So whose is the
Oh,
heaviest?
heavier.
Ant? Yeah, Ant's has clearly got the most surface area. You'd back that one in to be heavier. I'd say 0.4 for that one and 0.5 for that one. Half a gram and 0.4 of a gram.
Alright.
And your guesses, mate?
I reckon they're going to be pretty bloody even. I reckon half a gram each.
Ugly. I'll be thrilled if mine's half a gram. We'll go with mine
Alright,
first.
go with yours. You reckon yours is small? What do we got?
I reckon it's the smallest of the two.
0.5.
Oh, shit. That was a mark. Right.
0.56, Glenn.
0.56, so that's more than half a gram, so
Yep.
that's a great result.
Yep, very good. That much is still on you.
Yeah, blood, you bit me through the sock.
Bugger. Get him.
That's the last one time you'll bite anyone.
Alright. Other. 0.65.
0.65. So that's 5.5 and 65. Well, that's 12.12, so 1.2. So hopefully,
Yeah, about 1.2. 1.24.
so as I've said a million times, that's a good result.
Yeah.
Bit of gold each, a good relic each.
Happy days.
I'll turn that off.
Well, shall we? Let's weigh those.
Oh yeah,
Weights.
right, sure.
That'll be good. Because we can. And you were saying a pennyweight is 1.5.
1.55.
1.55
Yeah.
grams.
See,
Okay.
there's 31.1 grams in a troy ounce, as distinct from an ounce.
Yeah.
So 1.55, and there's 20 pennyweights in an ounce. So 1.55
So
in a pennyweight.
so 3. You're gonna put the 3
So
pennyweights
the
on
three-
first.
what we believe is the 3 should weigh up at 4.5.
Yep.
Just over 4.5. So it's
Oh, bang on 4.5.
4.5. So that's 3 pennyweight.
Yep. And then 2
Now we suspect
pennyweight.
this is 2 pennyweight. So that
Yeah,
should be
3.
3.
3.0 something.
Yeah. So well,
3.1.
1 it
If
should
it's
be. Yeah, 3.1.
1.55.
Yeah, so it should be
3.1.
3.1. So
Yep.
It's
It's pretty much
3
3.07.
hundredths off, but these scales and sitting on the grass, there's
Yeah.
a jumping jack there. So yeah, so definite gold weights.
Beautiful.
They'll end up in Ant's cabinet with his
Oh,
others.
thank you, sir.
Uh,
Much appreciated.
I'll keep them for my photo shot tonight.
Definitely.
And yeah, so that's where we're at.
Great
we're going
day.
to another spot, and we've had
See
a
how
good
we
day
go.
so far. And that's. I just want to take a photo of that, because that's a pretty good day out the bush, I reckon.
It is, isn't it?
If this one is for smoking opium or smoking dope, I'll just turn that off. It's a slasher, isn't it?
It
It's the absolute slasher. And I honestly reckon it might be, because
Yeah.
see in there, see that, as you pointed out, the rubber in there. So if that's been a rubber pipe that you're flexing around and knocking it back on,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be really something.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a candlestick, it's ornate as well. But if it's for getting on the bloody opium, it'd be really something. Righto, mate. 2 bits of gold weights, various relics, spoon.
Beautiful picture. Happy days, Glenn.
Yeah, mate. We'll go. We've got a few things I want to check out. One thing I want to show you.
All right.
So if you're still watching, hang in, keep watching. Got a couple of interesting things to show you yet.
Awesome.
When I wasn't with Ant the last month or so, I had a chance to poke around the bush and just have a bit of a look-see. So I was in here and I noticed this chimney here. And the thing that interests me is they've made their fire pit, made their firestone out of conglomerate. See, these are all big pieces of conglomerate. That's
Yeah.
mainly quartz and sandstone conglomerate. And that's, you can see the raised area there.
Yep.
That's where the fireplace was for a hut. So it got me thinking on what stones you could use for a hut and why they used conglomerate. So Ant, I'll just show you. I've collected a few here. I'll show you.
All right.
Right, like I said, I was wandering around the bush, found that conglomerate of chimney stones, and later on, Ant and I are going to make a video in the winter time, and we're going to come into the bush, going to find a spot that we can sluice and dish for gold, make ourselves a shelter,
Beautiful.
make a fire stones and make a chimney, cook up a stew, cook up damper, go real old school, no detectors,
Sounds good.
and see if we could have made it for one day. But see what gold we can get for a day just with the dish and the sluice box.
Yeah.
So obviously the first thing you practically do is make shelter. So got me thinking, there's conglomerate chimney just next to us.
Mm-hmm.
So within 300 metres or less of where we're standing, I've collected 6 different bits of stone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll talk you through them. This bit here, it's a heavy dark sandstone, and the prospectors used to, and the old timers used to call it country rock. So even though it's sandstone, it's a darker sandstone. So conglomerate wash, that's been quartz and sand and sandstone. It's dried out in a creek bed and been joined together so it's like cement.
Mm-hmm.
So the cement or conglomerate.
Yep.
Our old friend quartz,
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows quartz. That's a bit of bluestone. And you'll say, oh, there's no bluestone on the goldfields. Well, here there is. At the goldfields that we work on mostly here, they're surrounded by volcanoes, extinct volcanoes, and there's a lot of volcanic overflow. So on the ridges there'll be red soil and bluestone connies like that. They'll migrate down the hill and they'll get onto the goldfield that you're working on. Or the old timers know that the lava has flown out and gone over the top of the goldfield. The gold occurred first. So they've dug in or dug through the lava flow to get down it. So that's a bit of bluestone. Basalt, as you know, simply it's the lava that flows out of the volcano, then it cools. And all those little bubbles that you can see in it, they're air pockets. So when that was hot and flowing out, all those little holes are the bubbles that are in, and as it's cooled. So inside that, there could easily be a cavity in the lava. So that's formed by the volcano. This is just your traditional yellow sandstone. So it's all broken down stone that's reformed, laid down by water, tiny particles of sandstone. And that's siltstone, which is water the water has flown into a big area, brought the dirt in with it, the dirt's dropped down through the water and laid it down in lines of silt. So every time it's rained, the water's brought the dirt into the pond, it's filled it down to the bottom and laid down a layer of silt. Righto, mate, so 6 stones. I want you to pick out the best and the worst to build your chimney out of. Just assume they're all the same size and they're all the same easiness to find, right? So they're all stacked up. Which one would you build your chimney out of and which one wouldn't you build your chimney out of? You can play along at home as well. But while you're thinking about that, you can think about that, this is the second part of the puzzle. This is also a puzzle. I picked up this stone when I was looking for stones. This is a bit of sort of rough, it's like sandstone, but it's a little bit more coarse. And it's got pick marks down here and pick marks down here. So where it was below a drive that was going underneath the basalt. So it was going into a lead. I thought that's interesting. It's obviously come out of a tunnel, you know, they've picked out on one side and picked out on another. But the trouble is, you can't arrange that stone. Imagine you're looking at a tunnel in front of you. You can't arrange that stone so that the two sides are out in a tunnel. In other words, if that was the roof, the pick mark should be on the bottom and that's one side. If that was the floor, the pick marks should have to come up this way. You know what I mean? You can't arrange it. So I worried about that for a week. I left the stone here, but I thought about that for a week. I couldn't get it into the tunnel. So I went down to where I found it. I went into the tunnel to have a look, and I've solved the puzzle. So that's the second part of the puzzle, how that stone fits into a tunnel. So 2 puzzles, Ant, for you. I told you there'd be a surprise exam. So we'll go to this one first. Righto. The best stone
Well, I'd probably use the sandstone.
for the chimney.
Sandstone
That's your
for the
best,
chimney.
best one, yeah.
Yep.
So this one,
Yep.
right, that's your best. Which is your worst?
I would have said conglomerate, but then you've got conglomerate over there.
Yeah, but you can. That doesn't mean they're right. I've seen a quartz chimney once, and I wouldn't
Have
build
you?
one out of
Yeah, I
quartz,
wouldn't build it out of quartz or
Yeah.
conglomerate.
Yeah.
None of these two. I'm not sure how basalt would go.
Right, well, I'll give you. That's equal first. This one is probably the best because the dark one. I've seen a few chimneys, and I'll tell you a story about a chimney. I saw one, and the bloke that built his firestones like that had some up like that, but then he'd grab it, a great big one, probably 7 foot long. He
Jeez.
poured out like that. So when he was in his hut, he had 2 or 3 like this to build his fire on. He had one here that went right out into the hut, and it was under the dirt, and he only had that much exposed. And what I assumed he was doing, and it was a bloody slashing idea, it was a great idea. In the summertime, he had his fire at the back of the fireplace, so he was on this. But in the wintertime, he had his fire in the front of the fireplace on this one up here that went up, that was buried in the centre of the hut. And he was heating the floor of the hut because this dark stone will hold the heat longer and reflect it longer. So he'd light his fire here, it'd burn down during the night, but it would have heated up the stone, kept the floor of the hut warm, so it was in floor heating.
Wow.
Before it's worth looking at. It's a
Jeez.
really interesting idea.
Slasher.
So I'll put that one as my top, but I'll accept yours as the top. This is the
Good.
bloody worst. Basalt is the worst, and I'll tell you
Basalt's
why.
the worst.
One time when I was young and keen, I was down the creek, and I was cleaning out a pothole. I lit a fire because it was a frosty morning, and I got a round flat stone. I sat it in the fire like that to put my billy on because I was going to have a cup of tea, you know. So the billy was boiling on the stone, and as I come back to it, it exploded, and it was a piece of basalt. What happens is, even though this is formed in a volcano, because it's got air pockets in it, it heats the air and the little tiny bit of moisture that's trapped in there. Because it's so dense, it won't, quartz will fracture. You know, you make one out of quartz, it has little pockets in it as well. It just cracks and fractures, it's not as
Yeah.
tight.
But
This
the
will heat
basalt
and heat
explodes.
and heat, and then it'll bloody explode. So
Jeez.
I was coming up to the fire to reach for my billy, it exploded, and it's only between the woman that does my laundry and myself how big a fright I got. Tell you what, I got a real fright.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, only other
I
time
bet.
other time I've got a fright to go close to that. I was coming home from visiting Tracy in hospital one time, and when you get out to Rockbank, there's a place called Ted's Cafe, and it's a truck stop. You go around the back of it, there's showers and toilets and that for the truckies. So I thought I'll have a quick piddle, so I'll go around the back. One bloke's coming out of the shower area, and I'm a bugger for saying g'day to blokes. So I said, "G'day mate, how you going?" And he sort of looked at me indifferently, you know, because he's coming out from having a shower. So he'd come out, I head down, I'll get in the toilets, and then I heard another bloke coming in. You had to go down a sort of alleyway and then turn. Heard another bloke coming in behind me. So I turned my head, and I hear him, and then the lights go out. I thought, shit, this bloke's come in and turned the lights off. So I made a drive for the door, and he let out a yell, and he ran out like a rabbit out of burrow. He ran out, and he ran sort of almost up around the corner, and he looked back, and he said to me, "What'd you turn the light out for?" I said, "I didn't turn the bloody light out. I thought you did, you know, and I was going to grab you and to stop you from bashing me." So we went back in, and the light was on one of those ones.
Timer.
That goes for about 15 minutes, you know, and you push it in. So the bloke was having the shower. He must have turned it on.
Yeah.
And then us two bloody monkeys, we come in. I'm in there going, let's do it. And then he'd come in, and when the light went out and he heard me run, he thought, oh, shit. So him and I both got a fright. Well, mate, so that's the firestones done. Now, can you solve this? Can you put that in a tunnel? There's your pick marks.
And the
There's your
top.
pick marks. I'll give you one little bit of think time. I'll tell you another story. In Greece, there's a famous tunnel, and it was to bring the water through an aqueduct, and it was made 600 BC.
Jeez.
So 2,500 years ago it was made, kilometre long, 5/8 of a mile if you were in America, and they rediscovered it and they opened it up, and they were saying, oh, this great aqueduct, you know, they've dug a tunnel a kilometre long. Then a bloke got in and he said, hey, they've dug this from either side. They said, how do you know that? And they said, look at the pick marks on the wall. He said, all the pick marks from this end are down like that,
and the other way.
and the other way they're down like that, and then in the middle there was just a slight lip, you know, where the two tunnels met. So this was 2,500 years ago. It started 1,000 metres apart, dug a tunnel that met in the middle. Not a bad effort, is it?
Yeah, bloody hell.
So I solved the mystery of this. I went into the tunnel and had a look, and what it was, this came off the floor, so that's what those pick marks were, and these pick marks on the side, they dug a drain down the centre of the floor. So so that's looking into the tunnel. They dug, got to the floor, but then they didn't like the water under their feet that was coming from their lead, so they dug a little shallow drain straight down the tunnel.
Okay.
And then this bit of stone's lifted off the floor, come out on their trolley, and so I had to go in the tunnel because I could bloody barely sleep trying to work out how that fitted into the tunnel.
Jeez.
So when I was doing nothing, I gathered up these 7 bits of stone just because they entertained me. I thought I'll give Anthony a test because Anthony.
Well, luckily I did all right.
Yeah, lucky you passed. But basalt, don't ever heat basalt because you'll get a real price. See, like to that, they'll have a pocket like that inside it. I was just coming up to my billy and it was, as I said, a frosty morning, and it went bang.
Jeez.
Yeah. Righto, mate. That's the end of our day.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Righto, fella.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, always a good day.
Great day, buddy. Thank you very much.
2 bits of
Loved
gold,
it.
couple of good relics.
Yep.
Lot
Happy
of fun.
days. Thank
Few
you very much.
stories,
Love it.
bit of education.
That's it. Always learning.
Righto, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's get back in.
See you soon.